Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Shanti Cafe and World Meditation Hour. Before we begin, I would just like to take a moment to thank all of you for joining us this evening. We really do appreciate you taking the time out to be with us virtually. And as you may all know, February is the month of love. And the topic of our cafe that we will be exploring this evening is Love is the Way, Creating a Future Without Fear. To guide us into this journey towards love, we do have a special guest who we would like to welcome, Rona Schweitz. Sister Rona is a Raja Yoga meditation teacher and the coordinator of the Brahma Kumaris Manhattan Meditation Center in New York. She has been an avid meditator and student of the Brahma Kumaris for over 25 years, and she has dedicated herself full time to the work of the organization for the last 15 years. By profession, Sister Rona is a medical doctor and also the author of a great book called Experiential Meditation. So, without further ado, let us please welcome Sister Rona. So thank you so much, Sister Rona. Welcome to our virtual Shanti Cafe.
Thank you. And it is a pleasure and an honor to be with all of you on this Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, to talk about love in the month of February. But maybe we can start with just a moment of reflection, a moment of silence. And in that silence, just as if step back in your mind and for a few moments withdraw from all the activities and sound and movement and sense impressions, and just come back to the essence of self, a being of awareness, an invisible experiencer who is like a traveler through time, through space, a visitor on this planet, a visitor even in this body. A soul, a spiritual being, going through a journey in this physical world. Thank you. The title of today's session is Love is the Way, a Future Free from Fear. And we will just share some thoughts and insights based on the spiritual knowledge taught by the Brahma Kumaris, Raj Yoga, and there will be some time to interact, ask some questions. Let's see how far we go, how far we come. But these are deep topics, no? love, although this word is used so often, although this word is spoken so easily by so many people, every film, every song, every book contains this word. Few of us deeply ever think about it, what really love means, and what really love is. And even though we say this word so often, and we do many, many, many things in the name of love, and looking for doing all kinds of things to experience love, to get love, to be in love, still much of the time these feelings, these higher feelings, elude us. And maybe we are looking for love or doing things out of love, but we end up hurt and we end up suffering. And in today's world, many of the relationships, complications that are there are among people who initially love each other, or they might even still say, we love each other. But there still is so much heartache and mistrust and disappointment, disillusionment, or right out ignorance and loneliness. And so, what is this love truly? If you think of it, what, what does it mean? And what is this word really trying to convey us? And one working definition that many years ago, one of the senior teachers in the Brahma Kumari gave, which I felt is very useful to live your life by, my life at least, is love is that energy of sharing and interacting where there is the aim to uplift, where there is the aim to enrich, where there is the aim to empower. And that can be on many different levels. It can be just actions at a physical level. It can be through thought. It can be through feelings. But it is the aim is to enrich and empower and um, uplift and to help bring out the best for the ones who are involved. That would be like a easy working definition of love. So any action performed, any thought created with that aim would be an expression of love. Not like how this program is organized with the aim to enrich us, with the aim to uplift, with the aim to empower, with the aim to bring out beauty within us, is an act of love, an expression of love. The energy, the thoughts that are put into a program like this, these are expressions of love. Now, many times the things that we do um, can start with love, but that love is somehow not sustained. Why does that happen? What happens after a while? So there may be that love, that love may be pure and it may be clean and it may be unconditionally there, but it doesn't last and things go off track. Now, many of the divorces today, they started with I love you for the rest of my life. They started with certain vows and promises, but still people end up in court, in a divorce, and fighting. So, what happened with that love? If it was pure to start with, because it might not have been. So, what happens with that love? It gets mixed with attachment. It gets mixed with desires. It gets mixed with expectations. It gets mixed with dependencies. And when it gets mixed, then the original experience is not there anymore and it becomes selfish. No, so, for example, there may be a certain appreciation from like mother and child. No, it starts with that pure love of the mother. But as the child grows, the mother gets into certain expectations of the child. Child should be in a certain way, should go through a certain education, should behave in a certain way, should behave socially in a certain way, should adhere to the rules and the norms of the family traditions and the social and cultural traditions. That mother creates expectations. And those expectations put the child and the mother in a mental, emotional jail. But also, the moment expectations are created, there comes fear because those expectations might not be met. No? And these expectations or these desires or sometimes even demands and imposition and suppression, this is what spoils love, that pure expression of a being who wants to share and uplift and empower and bring out the best and the beautiful. It becomes what I want, what I think, what I need, what I desire, what I see as truth or how it should be. And then both are in jail, mentally and emotionally. And that spoils love, whatever feeling was there. So, moment a desire, a moment an expectation comes in, we actually shouldn't call it love anymore, because then we can still call it love, but it is not truly love anymore. And one example, this is many years back. There was in psychiatric context. There was one lady, patient, and she would be depressed 11 months of the year and heavily depressed, taking antidepressants, high dosage of antidepressants. But every year in August, she's okay. We won't see her. She's good. Mood is good. Everything fine. So, what happens in August? This was in Holland, and she lives in Holland with her husband and with a son and a daughter who live close by. They are big, have their own lives. But in August, her son, who lives in Australia, comes for 4 weeks. Every year in August, the son comes. And the son lives in Australia and is married to an Australian lady, and they have children and they have business there, and their life is great and good. And every year he comes, either he comes alone or he comes with the children or they come as a whole family. And then his mother is good, no problem with depressions. But when moment he leaves, again, she will be at the doctor, and dosage needs to be adjusted because she falls into a deep depression again. So one day I asked her, she was patient of a colleague, but sometimes I had to step in when he wasn't there. So one day I asked her, so why is this happening every August? And she says, I love him so much. I can't be without him. He has a good life there. He is happy there. He is happy with his family. His only problem is his mother, who every night on the phone or writing him letters at that time, writing him emails that she misses him, how much she misses him, and that her life is not worth anything because he is so far away from her. And she even prefers him coming alone, because when he comes with his wife and when he comes with the children, she has to share him with the children and with the wife. Now, is this truly love? Or is this dependency, emotional bondage? She's in jail, he's in jail. And on top of that, her husband is with her. Two other children are right nearby. But she's depressed because of that one who is on the other side of the world. And I mean, she was sincere in her wanting and her thinking that she loves him. But this is where our spiritual ignorance shows, and our conditioned superficial thinking about love. Because he cannot be plainly enjoying his life. She's miserable 11 months of the year. And what does her husband think? And what does her other children who are close by must be feeling? That they are not good enough. So this mixing of uh, dependencies and attachments and these desires and a deeper yearning and needing and longing, it spoils that clean, pure feeling. And if we would like a future of love, if we would like a future free from fear and anxiety, then we have to find a way to get out of this limited, conditioned thinking about love. And sometimes we even think that attachment is love. We even think that if there is love, of course I have dependency. I can't be with you. I can't be without you. One brother one time said, a friend, he said, but Rona, I like it so much when my girlfriend says, oh, I can't be without you. I really like it so much when she say, I can't sleep if you are not around. I can't be all the time anxious if you are not there. I like it when she says that. After 6 months, he says to me, she suffocates me. I feel in jail. This is suffocating. I had to get out of this. Can't move. It's like a chain around my neck. So initially, the ego feels boosted, but then it becomes stifling. And this has nothing to do with love. This just shows our own inner emptiness and our desperation to cling on to something. It has nothing to do with the sharing to enrich and empower and elevate and bring out the beauty. It actually brings all of us down. So, can we shift our consciousness in such a way that we position ourselves better in interactions and in relationships? Can we come out of this jail that we kind of create for ourselves without even being aware of it? And I'll use this board, I hope you all can see, to make few sketches. I hope you don't mind. They are not very artistically talented, but they're illustrative. But before that, the other thing is this whole mystery and riddle of love is we are not generally clear even who is loving and who we are loving. We're not even clear of what it is we are loving and who is the one who is loving. This is a part of the riddle in the world today. And just to give a little indication of what we are hinting at, if we draw a human being, I'm not trying to be nasty, but this is a person. Like I said, I don't have any Michelangelo skills. This is just little sketch. A body, a bodily being means something is missing. This is just symbolizing the body. So, what is the being? Where is the being? Who is that being? No, we say human being. So, there is one who is using the body. There is one who is experiencing the body. There is one who is using these eyes to see. There's one who is using this mouth to speak. These ideas don't belong to this mouth, they belong to the being who is using the mouth. And so we use the image, in Raj Yoga, the image of a star or light or point of light to indicate the being of awareness, the being of consciousness, the soul. And this is the vehicle or the instrument. So when we say, I love, who is this I saying, I love? Is it the body saying, I love? Or is it the being who's using the body? The being is having the feeling of love. And who is this being loving? What is this being loving? The other is also same. This has to be the other way around. Can you see? Yeah. So if there is this word, I love, the being is loving, but is the being loving this? Or is the being loving the things around the body? Some car. This is new model. Or is there may be some dollars? Are we loving the dollars? Are we loving the body and the physical appearance? Are we loving the part that is played or some part of the part, the doctor or whatever? Or is the love for the being? So part of this riddle of love is we don't even know who we truly are. So if we don't even know who we truly are and we confuse ourselves with body or with the role that we play out or what our possessions or positions or the people around us and we identify with that, what does that love mean? It doesn't mean anything because I don't even know myself. So if I don't even truly know the self, what does the love mean? It doesn't mean anything. And how I see myself, that is how I will see you. If I see and identify myself by my position and my physical appearance and my possessions, I will look at you and judge you by your physical appearance, by your position, and by your possessions. And at the most, I of course, I can love money, but it means if there's no money, what happens with my love? It is gone. Or if someone else has more money, my love is for that other. Or if the love is for the position or the possessions, what happens when that position and possession is not there? If my love is for the physical appearance, what happens when the gray hair and the rimples start coming? Love has gone. My love is for the car. What happens when there's a car accident? And these desires and these expectations come from this wrong uh, identity, self-image. If we see ourselves as a bodily being, we see ourselves as a limited being with certain needs and certain desires and certain things to achieve. If we understand the self as spiritual beings, we are already complete, a timeless being, a being with divine potential, a being who is imperishable. So, in this awareness of self as a spiritual being, there is, we feel secure. And in that awareness, there is not a feeling of I need anything. I don't need anything or anyone to be secure. And in that state, future is free from fear. The present becomes free from fear. Everything and every interaction becomes an extra gift. Whilst if we operate from what is called body consciousness or physical consciousness, there is a feeling, I don't have, I need others to, to compliment me, to love me, to give me, to achieve things. I need this body to maintain a certain appearance or a certain health to be someone. But what happens when the body crumbles? What happens when the physical appearance diminishes? What happens when the things change? And things do change at this level. And they change unpredictably and they change without asking you permission to change. Anything, anytime can happen. So if we depend on this for our self-image, for our experience of love, for our experience of respect, we will always be insecure because anytime anything can change. And insecurity is the seed for fear and anxiety. And when we are anxious, when we are insecure, we cannot truly love. When there is inner insecurity, when there is anxiety, we are needy. We can pretend to love, but underneath there is a needing and a begging and a desiring and a wanting, not a giving. So Love is the way, yes, absolutely true. But we need to understand deeper where that love is coming from. And if that love is that, if truly love, or is it some selfish, motivated ego or attachment behind that is just needing. And there can be smiling, there can be lots of gifts, there can be lots of sweet words, there can be even pleasing actions, but the energy behind is of neediness. And so that love will stop the moment my needs are not fulfilled. That love will not be there the moment there is disappointment, because it doesn't come from that secure, contented internal stage. Only when we are truly secure, we can be in peace. Only when we are truly secure can we love in a clean way, and can we experience love? Can we accept clean love from others? If we are insecure, we are just looking to make ourselves secure, to make our expectations fulfilled, our demands fulfilled, our needs fulfilled. And it never ends, also, because even though there is some attachment, if it gets fulfilled, doesn't mean now it is good. Not like this mother, when her son comes, she's happy, but it doesn't mean she's okay for the rest of the life now. No. Even when he is with her in Holland, she doesn't want him to go to the neighbor or to visit his friends. He has to be with her all the time. So it is never enough. When things come from a space of emptiness, from a space of insecurity, from a space of dependency, it is almost like an addiction, it becomes. Now, when there is that experience of being absolutely secure, that experience can only be there in what is called spiritual consciousness or spiritual self-awareness or soul consciousness. Because only then there is the awareness of our own stage of being imperishable. Because fear is directly related with a sense of loss or a threat of loss. Now, in limited physical consciousness, limited physical awareness, anything and everything can change. Now, even this body, I have no guarantee, even for the next minute, that it will still be there. Even for tomorrow, next year, we don't know. Even for this body, I don't have any guarantee. So if I depend on the body and the bodily existence for sense of self, and let alone sense of success or sense of importance or sense of respect or love, I will always be insecure, because this body, there is no guarantee, let alone anyone else or anything else in this physical world. But in soul awareness, understanding the self as a timeless being of awareness, God-like in potential, on a journey, a traveler, an invisible traveler, then this body is a temporary extra experience. a temporary gift. Nature gives you this gift to play with. So you have feelings of gratitude, you have feelings of appreciation, you have feelings of respect. You use the body according to the rules and the regulation, and you are happy. But you also know that you are not the body. You are not a bodily being and a bodily personality. You are that timeless, invisible, God-like being of light on a journey. And there are so many different experiences, such a variety of scenes and interaction. And every interaction is a gift. Every interaction is an extra experience, something new, something different. And you are on that journey. We are visitors in this world, visitors in this body. This is whole thing is extra. And when something is extra, it cannot make you insecure. Deeper awarenesses, spiritual awarenesses, and deeper understandings also make us open up to the experiences of the non-physical dimension, the home of souls, family of souls, the supreme soul. All of that can be experienced and adds to that experience of being secure, an eternal, imperishable home, eternal, imperishable parent, eternal, imperishable family, brothers, souls. And so at this level, more we become aware of that. Secure is natural. And then what is there not to love? These are beautiful beings. You are beautiful, truly. And on top of that, you have this extra gift, the physical world, extra, what is it? Game. But you don't depend on this. You don't identify with it. And then love is natural. Love, we are beings of love. Love is part of our nature when we are in clarity and when we are secure. But when we are insecure, when our consciousness is limited, when our understandings limit themselves to just the physical dimension, then love becomes selfish and demanding and full of expectations. And in this interaction, it is always limited. Only this interaction is from a selfless being to a selfless being. In the consciousness of I am this, there is always something inauspicious there. And in any interaction, moment I create a desire, moment I create an expectation, that moment I lose my peace. Now, so say for example, when you're just visiting a place, you don't need anything from there. You're just visiting. You have your home, you have your family, you have everything. You're just visiting, so you appreciate. Now, this is the energy we start with. You appreciate, you respect, you value. You just visiting. And this is useful. This is pleasant experience. You're at ease, you're in peace. You just come. But say you visiting your friend's place And then there is some chair that stands out. Initially, you don't notice. You never had any thoughts about any chair. You just come and you like visiting is nice to visit. But now, after a while, you see this chair and you say, I like the chair. And you sit on it. And you sit on it for some 20 minutes and you get up, go to the bathroom. And then what happens? Somebody else sit on your chair. What happened? You say, that is my chair. I like that chair. So all kinds of inauspicious feelings start coming. Was when you came in the beginning, you didn't even know about the chair. You didn't even have thoughts about chair. And whatever is there, you appreciate, you respect, you revalue, you treat it properly. But you don't have anything special because you're coming from a place of not needing anything. The moment we get into, I like this specifically, and then the next step becomes, I like it, I like it. What is the next step? I want. And I put the label mine. And this can happen in few minutes with the chair that you're sitting on. I like this chair. I want this chair. This is my chair. And then you get up, somebody else sit on it. You feel, why they're sitting on my chair? How dare they? So I came in and we were all friends and we were all like this nice. And now this person becomes not my friend because they're sitting on my chair. Maybe they're also wanting my chair. No, and I get into this spiral of all kinds of complicated emotions. Everyone can become my enemy just because they're looking at my chair, wanting to touch my chair, maybe to carry away my chair. And I will now do everything and anything to sit on my chair, maybe even to hold on to my chair. No, I'm exaggerating. But this spiral is the opposite of love. And we might say, oh, I love this chair, such a beautiful chair. But it becomes a reason for all kinds of feelings of animosity and disrespect. And I might even become violent, throw somebody off my chair. This is my chair. Don't sit on my chair. And it started so nicely. What has happened in here? I crossed this line, this illusion of ownership. And we do this also in the bigger picture of life. We get into this mode of mine and I want and I like, and we want to own. Moment I get into this, I lose my peace. Moment I get into this, I cannot truly love. It becomes selfish, and I will only love you if you give me my chair. And if you don't give me my chair, I can't love you. And not even further down this spiral of ignorance is we get into identification. We start feeling this chair is part of me. So if you criticize this chair, I feel you're criticizing me. And if you praise this chair, I love you because I think you're praising me. And we go down this spiral of what is called spiritual ignorance, this process of identifying with what we are not. We are just guests visiting this whole thing, this chair. What is this? It's spoiling my experience of enjoying the interactions and the company and the gathering and the experience of visiting. I'm spoiling it just because of this chair thing. Everyone becomes my enemy or my potential enemy because they're looking at my chair. We spoil love. We spoil our peace. We spoil our potential for these higher and more refined emotions. And we spoil our experience also. So let us not cross this line of ignorance. We are here in this world, we are here in this body as guests, as visitors. Appreciate, respect, value, use it, enjoy it, play with it, but don't get into this I like, I want, I need, I desire, mine, and then fear of losing. If we hold on to this tendency, our future will be full of insecurities and fear. Don't cross this line. Remind the self everything here is temporary. Everything here is an extra gift. This body is such a miracle. This hand is such a miracle. It can touch, it can grasp things, all kinds of things you can do with this hand. These eyes are miracles. What you can do with this mouth, so many miracles. Electricity is a miracle. This mic is a miracle. Every interaction is a miracle, is a beautiful gift. Why to spoil it by getting into mine? I like this mic, my mic. I can't be without this mic. Nobody should touch this mic. I'm spoiling the wonder and the beauty and the miracle of the experience. I'm spoiling love and I'm spoiling my peace. And probably everybody else is also around. Okay. I've shared quite a bit. Are there any thoughts or comments, or is it possible for there to be some questions or interactions? Sarah?
Yes, sister.
Okay. So I think they should just open their mic if they want to say anything. No questions? That means everyone understood everything. So next time we meet, all are flying, all are 100% loving, no more fear. Sudha?
Oh, Shanti,
Om
my
Shanti.
question is uh, I understand the expectations that it's not necessary in our lives, but when we have children and are we being the guidance for them, although we are not expecting, we are still trying to divert them towards the correct path so that they can attain and they can be happy. And there is to some percentage, there will be some expectations, yes. But would you call that an expectation, or is it okay for me to still continue to guide them and get them where they should be? Because me as a parent can see what will make them the best, successful individual in this on this earth.
Mm. First of all, what is good to check? No, interaction with children, is it this to this or this to this? Now, in the bigger scheme of things, they are souls on their journey. And the relationship of parent and child is just one lifetime. It is not their eternal reality. It is not your eternal reality either. So in the bigger scheme of things, they are not truly mine. So you play that part of a parent as a trustee. They are not mine. They are souls also on their own journey with their own baggage, with their own interests, with their own lessons and their own potential. And of course, there is, as in playing the part of a parent, the role is to give guidance. The role is to steer, but not with the desire or the expectation that it needs to be fulfilled or that they need to be how I want them to be or think they should be. You invest in character, you invest in values, you invest in their power to think and to discern, but they will make their own choices. But if we have invested in their ability to see clearly, give them a rich environment of where they feel secure, where they can grow and where they can develop their thinking and discerning power, then whatever decision they make in the future will be for their best future also. But they don't have to be how I am. They will live in times that are very different than times where we grew up in. So our ideas of what is good and successful may not be valid at all in their future time. And it can also be stifling for them. I remember my father, when I was growing up, he always wanted to be an astronaut. So he wanted me to be an astronaut too. And because of that, he used to push us. And of course, there was a certain intelligence and there were certain abilities, but he pushed us, he pushed us, he pushed us, which in certain ways were good. But he held that vision that we also had to be astronaut. And I had no interest at all going to the moon, what I had to do there. And of course, that was his idea of success. That was his idea of excellence and aspiring and giving back to the community. But that was not my idea. My interest and my desires, not at that time, but later on, were spiritual. Is that any less? I don't think so. Times are different now. No? So am I not successful because I did not met his expectations or his desire? I don't think so. Am I a worse person because my ultimate, what I did with my life is different than what he had envisioned? No, I don't think so. But he invested in strength of character also. Not he, my parents both. They invested in teaching us certain values. They encouraged us to develop our thinking and discerning power and made us independent beings. And so that definitely was extremely valuable. Of course, also whatever he used to push, but it was a little bit of a tug of war to make him understand I'm not going to go walk on the moon. Understand?
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
Everyone has their own journey. We can share, and as a parent, you share, but respect their own journey. I think time has passed, isn't it? So, what is next? You have to unmute, Veronica. Yeah.
On behalf of everyone, I would like to thank you, Sister Rona, for your wisdom and experience on the topic of love is the way. I get a couple of points that I really think they're very important, which is emotional bondage, strong attachments, spoil pure love, because pure love is no attachment or bondage. It's free, it's love, it's pure from the heart. And the other one is when we are truly secure, we can truly love. If we are insecure, we're never gonna be able to love no one. We have to love ourselves and be secure with ourselves, and then we will be able to love, right? So these are really, I really like that. And I really thank you for this hour. It was amazing. To everyone present this evening, I take this opportunity also to thank you for joining us. And now I'm gonna pass to Sister Rona. She will guide us into World Meditation Hour. 1 hour of peaceful and loving meditation to heal the world, which is really needed right now, the body, the mind, and the soul, which is very important. So thank you all for joining us this evening. And now we're going into 1 powerful hour of pure meditation to send love and peace to the world and to ourselves too. We have to love ourselves. Thank you, sister.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and an honor to be with all of you. Very nice.
It was an honor for us. Thank you.
It is always useful not to come back to a state of deeper reflection and as if let everything settle, what we have heard, what we have shared, and try and grasp that more subtle stage. Get into the awareness of that there is a physical dimension and there is a non-physical, invisible dimension. And to come to that feeling of love, we need to broaden our awareness and broaden our perspective. Thank you. And I think the team will now take over. Have a good evening and enjoy the world meditation. Everything and everyone around, we accept the body as it is. We accept the world as it is. So there's no need to think about the past or this present moment or the future. We just completely relax. And become aware of the heartbeat of the body. Become aware of how the air is pulled into the lungs on inhalation and pushed out on exhalation. And we completely accept and relax. Now we become aware of the one who is experiencing all of this, the invisible experiencer. And just for a moment, contemplate on these two separate entities, the body on one side and the invisible experiencer on the other side. The inner being, the higher being, the soul, the real self. And with the eye of the mind, we envision the invisible experiencer as a tiny star, living spark of pure, serene light, a timeless being, an immortal being, imperishable, secure. This is the real self. A being of consciousness, free, timeless, peaceful, innocent, pure, godlike in potential. And we just allow our mind to grasp the higher nature of the true self. Allow that calm, sweet, loving nature to emerge. Knowing the real self, the invisible, timeless being of light. What is there not to love? in the dimension beyond sound, beyond change, beyond time. In that world of silence and just light resides the Supreme. One who is also a being of light, but invisible to the human eye, like a beautiful, sparkling, living, conscient star. One who is forever wise, one who knows the total picture, the complete truth. Generous, gentle, kind, royal, selfless. One who is egoless. One who has no needs and no desires. Absolutely and forever secure. The Supreme is the ocean of peace. The ocean of wisdom. One who remains beyond that what is transitory, beyond superficial pleasures. The Supreme never enters into the ignorance of depending on that which is temporary. He is the ocean of wisdom. The eternal parent of all souls. And when the mind is immersed in his sweet company, feelings of tranquility and safety and comfort flood the mind. Not the intrusiveness of physical touch, but a refined aligning of minds beautiful feelings, full of goodness. It is like a flying with the mind. There is total trust because of the purity of heart. Noble, elegant, without imposing, without show, clean, pure, simple, royal love, without pretense, without conditions, authentic. Such is the supreme. Knowing God truly, what is there not to love? Coming again to that awareness of the eternal self. The invisible experiencer. Certain calm comes over the mind and a certain clarity. And the realization that is what is true for the self is also true for others. Everyone else is also an invisible, timeless, innately godlike being of light. All belong to that dimension beyond, the home of the immortal, eternal, bodiless beings of light. All our souls, all our family, children of the Supreme, benevolent, royal beings of subtle light, part of a family of divine living stars. Invisible guests in this physical world. Invisible guests in the bodies. But timeless travelers who belong to the eternal home of souls and to the eternal parent. Tiny dots, souls, invisible brothers, like companions or friends. There is a sweet and imperishable bond amongst all of us. When aware of our true nature as souls, this becomes clear and obvious. The one who is spiritually awake allows the self to perceive this, to experience this subtlety and refinement. The timeless truth of all, the eternal, invisible, living stars is beautiful and great. And we keep the mind immersed for a while in this experience. with the image in the mind of the self as a tiny star, subtle, serene light, invisible, timeless, tiny point, a living presence sitting behind the eyes in the center of the forehead. This invisible experiencer this living star, the soul, is a traveler, a visitor in this world, a visitor in this body. And the attitude of a visitor is of appreciation, of respect, of gratitude. For a guest, everything is an extra gift. The body is a gift. The sense experiences are all gifts. The interaction of the soul with the body and with all the elements of nature. Every interaction is a gift. The whole of nature and the play of human interactions are gifts. Soul consciousness means traveler consciousness, guest consciousness. And the special virtue is to let go, not to get into ego or greed or bondage. A traveler remains free, appreciates, enjoys, but sees it all as a long journey with many, many gifts. Such a variety of experiences. Every moment is a gift. The invisible traveler appreciates the richness of every moment, of every scene, the richness of matter is seen with respect and gratitude. The guest owns nothing, loses nothing, misses nothing, but enjoys and appreciates and respects and values everything. The invisible traveler, therefore, remains light.
शांततं शांत रहे वातावरण। शांति। जीवन शांति। जल थल शांति। पृथ्वी शांति। सृष्टि शांति। शांति। जब हो शांति की अभिलाषा, आनंद प्रेम है एक ही भाषा। क्रोध मोह अहंकार जो छोड़े, ध्यान योग से नाता जोड़े। शांति कोई मंत्र नहीं है। शांति कोई जंतर नहीं है। शांति मेरा मन मंदिर है। शांति मेरा ही अंतर है, ही अंतर है।
Thank you for joining us and good night.